Hello and welcome to the stream for the Speed Duel Masters Circuit Week number 2. I'm very glad to have you all with us. Shout out in the chat. Welcome Nightblader. Welcome Hexy. We have some what should be great games for you today. We are now looking to see what happens following up after week 1, after all those matches were played. How do our competitors adapt? What do they do going into the second week? I'm really excited to show all these games to all of you, and of course to myself. This will be my first time watching them. Welcome, Yugioh. Welcome. Before we really dive in, there is an important announcement that needs to be made as far as our players go, as far as our roster of competitors. For the sake of keeping things professional, I'll say. I won't go into too much detail. However, we did have to have a replacement on our roster. Freesquee, who competed in week 1, will no longer be part of the Speed Duel Masters circuit. To be clear, this was as a result of the player violating the rules multiple times, coupled with some unprofessional behavior on his part, has unfortunately resulted in his removal from the circuit. So, along with that, the corresponding move is that the 11th place player from the qualifying tournament has been promoted into the circuit. That is actually going to be Jdg Nightblader. If you know Speed Duels, you know this man. He is an invaluable member of the community, as well as a member of Judgment Gaming. Yep. He is the head judge, of course, for this and all JDG events, as well as all Speed Duel League events. While he hasn't been in the scene as long as some others, it feels like he's been around forever because he's made himself absolutely indispensable to the Speed Duel community. I'm proud to call him a friend and a teammate, and very happy that he will be joining the circuit. While the circumstances weren't the way that we would have wanted them to be, I could not think of a better individual to be joining us here. So, very happy to have him on board. He will be taking over Freesquee's place, which means he will be inheriting Freesquee's record and going from there. So it will be a little bit of an uphill climb for Nightblader as he is starting off with a loss. But there, 8 weeks to play, 8 matches to play. Definitely still has plenty of opportunity to put himself in position for the top 6 for the playoffs. So speaking of everyone's position, let's take a look at the standings after week 1. You'll see them on your screen right here. You'll see tied for first after that first week will be CM Ursus, Yugioh, and Tensei Patu. Each with the match win with a clean 2-0. Then tied for fourth is Hexy and Starblast 100, who won with a 2-1 score. Thanks to Accord and Jdg Nightblader tied with a 0-1 record, but with a game win to make that a little bit better for themselves. And then Jui and Palo NS and Siren Rises at the bottom of the standings right now, but that is only after the first week, so again, plenty of time to turn that around and put themselves in a better position. So let me go ahead and get some background music for you all and make this good. As always, friends, I know how audio sounds on my end, but that doesn't always mean that it comes through on stream the way that it sounds like it should. So if anything needs to be adjusted, if you need the music higher or lower, if I should be higher or lower, anything at all, please do let me know. I want to make sure that everything is best viewing experience that it can be. Yeah, I just made it just a touch louder. Let me know if you want it any more than that. It might still be a little quiet, but again, it's a little hard to tell on my end. Alrighty. So, that is where we are right now with the standings. However, those week 2 games have been played. Before we jump into those, a reminder to everybody to look on the side of your screen and to remember that the prize pool, which currently now sits at $62, can increase further as we go along. Remember, it did start with $50 out of my pocket. But then everything after that is up to all of you beautiful people out there in Twitch land. Remember that any sub, and you can see the dollar amounts there, will add to that prize pool. 80% of all donations will get added as well. Anything that happens during any of these live streams throughout the regular season or playoffs will increase the prize pool for our players. So please consider either subbing or donating, help them out, give them that much more to fight for as we look forward to the end of the season. All right, I don't want to make the music too loud, but I'll give it just a touch more. All right. I bumped it up just a little bit more. Hopefully that's a good level. Alrighty. So, as always, our matches will be shown in the order in which they were played / sent to me as replays. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Alrighty, so we are going to go ahead and get into week 2 of the Speed Duel Master Circuit. You can see on the right side of your screen the preview of our matchup here. It is Hexy versus CM Ursus to lead us off. We do say that Hexy's Moth deck has been banned, and yes, Ursus, you are first. As Ursus, unsurprising to anyone, I think, had Unions banned away from him, the deck that he is very much known for. So let's go ahead and jump into that as I try to make OBS do what I need it to do. It always has this thing where it does not want to actually... There it is. It's always just a little iffy. There we go. Alrighty, so we are going to go ahead and jump into game number 1 of Hexy versus Ursus. So let's go ahead and see. Ursus will win the rock, paper, scissors. And it looks like we will be seeing 2 different Marek decks, but that is going to be Twisted Personality Volcanics on the side of Hexy and Shadow Reborn Relinquished on the side of Ursus. Curse gonna come down. There's First Blood. Easy damage. Easy damage. 500 backed up by a full back row. Let's see what Ursus has to respond. Breaker's a good card, but we'll get floodgated. All right, Ursus is actually going to chain the Book of Moon to save Breaker from that floodgate. No trap hole today. Zoma in the end phase. Azoma in the end phase. There we go. Alrighty. So I'm just going to start, especially after last week, I'm just going to assume that at the end of every single end phase, Azoma is being activated. Zoma number 1 goes in on Breaker. Alright, so that Book of Moon, unfortunately, kind of wasted here. Zoma number 2 goes in, but that is a Sphere Karibo to block the attack. 800 is going to get through. You know what? If a Gravekeeper's Curse deals 1300 damage, I feel like it did its job. Alright, DD Warrior Lady off the top. That's pretty good. The only reminder, Zoma is not format warpingly broken. Yeah, agreed. Totally fine. Alrighty, so that's pretty good. It lets him get rid of the curse while still keeping the Warrior Lady to then potentially banish a Zoma to prevent its burn. Rite of Spirit, gonna bring curse back, burn for another 500. Ursus is actually gonna floodgate the curse. You know, that can't feel good. Alright, 300 battle damage plus a banish. 1800. Ursus at 100 life points. What is the top deck? There's Shadow Reborn down to 50. We're going to get a Breaker back in defense, and that is it. Oh, that can't feel good. And Curse off the top is going to do it. Hexy taking a very quick game 1. Oh, damn, Hexy. All right. Gravekeeper's Curse burn too strong. It definitely had nothing to do with the Zomas. Don't worry about it. All right. Oh, the Zoma counter. I'm gonna love to see where Zoma counter ends up. Alrighty. So that was game 1. Gravekeeper's Curse too strong. All right. So let's go ahead and get into game number 2. I assume they talked about who's going first. Looks like it will be Ursus. Alright, it's going to be a breaker summon. Can't get floodgated if it's already on the field. Very good. Volcanic Rocket off the top. It will get floodgated, but we'll search that Blaze Accelerator. Alright, Blaze Excel is just going to pop the shell from hand. Looks good to me. And sorry, it was Shadow Reborn Gravekeepers, not the TP Volcanics last game, obviously, but yeah. Alright, pay 5, add the shell, get the counter on TP, set some back row. Strong opening from Hexy here, but the pre-prep's going to come down from Ursa's. And worth noting, he did not choose to switch decks for this game. He felt that he can still find a win with Relinquished here. Alright, Black Illusion Ritual, pitch a Relinquish, summon a Relinquished. Use the effect. Apparently, some dueling book lag. Alright. Everyone's favorite. Now, of course, alright. It is worth noting, of course, that Blaze Excel, shell in hand, this Relinquished is, like, actually not that threatening. Alright, DD Warrior Lady can go in for 15. Hexy says that's good. Gets a counter on TP. Blaze Excel will pop the Relinquished. There you go. Pay 500 for shell, get a third counter. TP can pop DD Warrior Lady if Hexy decides to. But actually, we'll just use the Blaze Excel, keep the counters on TP. Fair enough. Royal Firestorm Guards will go ahead and activate that pot of Pyrosperity. 1, 2, 3, 4 Pyro Monsters. Shuffle, draw 2. Alright. Alright, Ursa's in complete top deck mode. Draws, sets, Zoma comes out for Hexy. Plus a DD Warrior Lady. That is a lot of damage on the board. What do we got? A Book of Moon on Zoma will give Ursa's one more turn, but that is 3,200 points of damage directly to the dome. What do we got? A Blind Allure off the top. Will find a dark to banish. What was that other card? Apparently nothing helpful. That is it. Hexy with a honestly pretty quick 2-0 win over Ursa's. Gravekeepers Volcanics getting it done against Relinquished. Oof. I gotta say, I never had a problem with it in TCG because it was never really a thing. But I hate Relinquished in speed duels, and yeah, I don't mind it. I am sorry to Ursa's, but yeah, stop playing Relinquish. It's bad. Confirmed. All right. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and take a look real quick at the deck lists that were played here. Let's get those standings out of there. First, we'll take a look at Hexy's deck. First, what was banned was the Moth deck. Ursa's didn't want to play against this. Looks pretty standard. Sphere Karibos, maybe a little bit different. But overall, Breakers, DD Warrior Ladies, Moths, you know the deal. You know it, you love it. It's Moth. That was banned. The Gravekeeper deck, that took a very quick Game 1 victory. As you can see, it is a, what I would say, standard Gravekeeper burn list, although I don't know if there's such a thing. Sorry, Nightblader. True, DD Warrior Lady is a relinquished answer. That is true. As standard as a Gravekeeper burn deck can get, I think this is pretty much it. So it looks good. And then our TP Volcanic list. Royal Firestorm Guards, again, getting the effect off, putting in work. It is still double Wildfire, which I find interesting, especially with the one Blaze Excel. I know Volcanic Rocket can get it back from the grave, but still. So, like, potential brick with the Wildfire, but hey, it worked out here, so nicely done by Hexy. So let's go ahead and take a look at Ursa's decks. First, what was banned was, of course, Unions. If you want to know what a good Union deck looks like, look at what Ursa's is playing, because that's probably it. Honestly, this looks really, really solid to me. This looks about what Unions should probably be looking like right now. So yep, there you go. Then the Looking into the Future burn deck that Ursa's refused to play this match. A lot of it makes sense. It's about what you expect. The one difference I will say, of course, I know a tech that Ursa's is very fond of is the Spike Shield with Chain. No one else really seems to be on this card, but I know he's a big believer in it. So you see that in there. Other than that, there you go. There's Looking into the Future burn for you. And then Relinquish that got 2-0'd here. Overall, solid. Looks about what you'd expect. There is that one Jinzo in there, which makes sense, since Relinquish, take a monster, tribute for Jinzo can just be the end of a burn deck right then and there. So yeah, looks pretty solid. So there you go. There's the deck lists that were played, or not played in this case, in the first match of the day. So that will do that. Alrighty, we are going to go ahead and head into our second match of the day. And that will be Starblast 100 versus Sophicord. And I'm going to remember to do that one of these days. Alright, so we will say that Sophicord has decided to ban Starblast Cyber Angels. I feel like that's a sentence you should probably get used to hearing, that Starblast Cyber Angels have been banned. It's the deck they won the Toxic Legacy 2 tournament. It's the deck that people believe they have the most experience and competence with, I will say. So expect that deck is probably going to be banned each and every week is my guess, but we'll see how that goes. And Sophicord, of course, known for Moth above all else, so that will be banned away from her. So we will see Moth, and I put Dragoon, but it's really more of a full Destiny Hero deck on Starblast side. We will see Gravekeepers and Spellproof Armor for Sophicord. So let's go ahead and dive into game number 1 of Starblast versus Sophicord. Starblast will win the RPS, will choose to go second. Alright, so we will see Spellproof Armor versus Destiny Heroes up first. That is a very quick bird summon, Cacaw, backed by 2 back row. Oh, true, yeah. Alright, so before we go further, I want to actually touch on that, because Jack is right. I did hear there was some heated disagreement at some point in this match. I don't know the details. However, I'm going to point out to everyone watching right now, before the SMC kicked off, I let our competitors know that chat will be visible during the replays, because I think it can be fun. You know, sometimes there's, you know, some fun banter back and forth, you know, people having fun, whatever. I did also warn people that any over-the-line unprofessional behavior will have consequences. So I don't know what happened. They did not give me the details. I know they got kind of upset with each other. So I'm hoping that chat remains somewhat civil and that they remember what I said, that it will be on stream, and that they, you know, everyone needs to behave themselves at all times. So we're going to see what happens. If anything comes up in chat that crosses the line, A, I apologize in advance, and B, I'll have to deal with it. But hopefully it didn't get to that point. Hopefully we can just enjoy the match. So please, no gamer words. Agreed. All right. So let's get into it and see if any penalties have to be given out. Hopefully not. All right, reinforced from the army for Starblast. What are they going to search? All right, it will be Destiny Hero Blade Master for the battle trick in hand. And then a quick fusion party ditching Malicious and Dogma to make Destiny Hero dangerous. Alright, Malicious will banish from the grave to summon itself. Of course, thereby weakening the effect of Dangerous just a little bit. Potentially. Nope, it will get tributed off for Jinzo. There goes any trap cards that may have been in the back row. Jinzo attempts to beat over Colossalus, but will be met by a Book of Moon. That Jinzo is not spellproof. It sure can go face down. Starblast deciding if they would like to attack here. We know they can with Blade Master in hand. So they're going for it. Damage step. Alright, will it just be the dangerous effect? Pitching Blade Master from the hand, as well as Dark Angel from the deck. We will see 1, 2, 3, 4 Destiny Heroes in the graveyard, so it'll be an 800-point attack boost for dangerous. Alright, 500 damage does get through. That is the first blood of this match. Alright, so of course, off the top, we'll find a Soul Exchange. So that will tribute Dangerous for Jinzo. Alrighty, of course, has to skip the battle phase that turn. Let's see what Star Blast has. Alright, taking a long time to think here. We'll flip summon Jinzo. We'll summon Jdg Warrior Lady as an answer to Sophocord's Jinzo. Alright, Malicious will be banished to summon the last one from the deck here. In attack position, very aggressive. Alright. Plus a Future Fusion will come down. Alright, Jdg will attempt to attack into Jinzo. That is successful. Alright, see 900 damage there, so just accepting the 3200 that will come in from Jinzo plus Malicious. Alrighty, what is the top deck here? Nothing great, as that will do it for game number 1. Alrighty, so that is a win over here for Star Blast's Destiny Hero deck. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't they win last week with D Heroes too? This deck that looks like it shouldn't work is working. Working great. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move on to game number 2. Alright, Sophie announcing she will be going second here. Give me one moment, actually. I need to respond to a slacker who is supposed to have joined me before this, but couldn't yet. Don't be a slifer slacker, folks. Alright. Alright, we will see something going back to the Spellproof Armor. Of course, knowing that Star Blast has to play Moth, knowing that Spellproof is favored against Moth. Yep. Alrighty, so it will be just a summon of a Jdg Warrior Lady. Interesting, not even a set. Just goes ahead and summons it. Does, okay. But a full back row behind it. Let's see what Sophocord has. Alright, just a main phase Book of Moon. Interesting. For a Soul Exchange. Alright, so I was curious why the main phase Book of Moon, but that question was immediately answered. In case Star Blast has a Book of Moon on their own to stop the Soul Exchange, this time it cannot be. So there is a Jinzo, no spells, no traps. Come at me, bro. Star Blast draw, pass. That's exactly what Sophocord was hoping to see. Alright, there is a Summoner's Art to special summon a Colossalus from the deck, of course. Battle phase, let's see. No spells, no traps. That's probably just game 2. There it is. Alright, that's about as quick as it gets. Nicely done there from Sophocord. That will be the win for Spellproof Armor, which means game 3 will see Star Blast Moth against Sophocord's Gravekeepers. Which, of course, will be where the fireworks begin. I guess here it is. Hopefully, tell me that's all it was. Alright, I guess there was some issue at that point. Don't know what it was. Maybe this is it. Alright. So we'll see a summon of a Gravekeeper's Recruiter, a Wonder Wand. Now, of course, Parasite can interrupt this, which I feel like actually was... Now that I'm thinking about it, I think that that was where the issue was at some point. Alright, yeah, so... Also true, probably should not have shuffled there. But yeah, especially knowing... So I'm actually a little surprised that Sophocord didn't give Star Blast the time to think, knowing that they're on Moth, that Parasite could have been a play here. I don't love the way that this went. Hey, welcome, Mixlosh. Yeah, I don't love the way that this went. Alright. Log should have been posted, yeah. Yeah, that is the correct answer there. So I'm glad they got the ruling right. But yeah, of course, again, knowing your opponent's on Moth, I guess Overcard actually wasn't sure that that interaction worked that way, which is maybe why she wasn't waiting for a response there. But yeah, I don't love the way that went. But anyway, what happened happened. Yeah, because Wonder Wand can only be equipped to a spellcaster, so turning it into an insect. Yep, there goes Wand. Interesting. So Starblast is not going for the Moth summon here, instead choosing to summon Jdg Warrior Lady, which will be met by a Floodgate. Okay. So maybe trying to bait out that back row before using the Cocoon effect. Yeah. Oh, because Wand was already put in play. So because it's an insect, it has to go to the grave. Yeah. Alright, looks like there is the punish for waiting on the Cocoon, as Oracle will come down. Chaining 1 Recruiter, chaining 2 Oracle to pop the set monster. Alright, will be met by a Floodgate. And Parasite's effect is going to activate, which means it should be Recruiter to finish this chain, and then in a new chain, the Moth will be summoned. Hey, they did it in the right order. Nice. Alright, 1 back row will finish up Sophocord's turn. Let's see what Starblast has. A set back row, a Moth attack in. There goes the Oracle. Alright, Sophocord with a set monster and pass. Starblast with a Nobleman of Crossout off the top. There goes a Recruiter. Let's see, is 3,500 good? It is! Sophocord down to 500 life points. There's a set and a set. Not using Shadow Reborn here, so feeling like this should be enough to survive with. Alright, just straight into battle phase. Recruiter again will search Gravekeeper's Curse. No Zoma in the end phase. Who would have thought? I realized that it wouldn't make sense here, but still. Alright, 3rd back row will set that curse. Of course, this gives her the option to potentially Shadow Reborn it in defense later if needed. Again, just battle phase. No other summons available for Starblast. Nightmare Wheel comes down on the Moth. That will stop the attack. That will burn for 500. Alright, Sophocord is not done yet. There's another set monster, and actually this is starting to look potentially difficult for Starblast. A set monster comes down. That is it. Moth, of course, cannot attack. There's the second tick of Nightmare Wheel. Nightblader's favorite card is putting in some work here. Alrighty. Let's see, is that set monster going to be flipped, or is it just going to chill? A second Nobleman of Crossout. We'll take out the curse. Knew what that card was. Decides to take out that one instead of the mystery card. Man-Eater Bug will be flipped. Popping another curse. Oh, maybe not. Thinking about popping his own Moth to deal with a Nightmare Wheel. Interesting. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, I have to read this. Wheelin', dealin', show, stealin', control, enabling, crowd, fabling, Moth, upsetting, bracket, reset. You know it. Alrighty, we'll pop his own Moth to stop that Nightmare Wheel burn. Sets another monster. Back to Sophocord. What does she have here? Fills the back row back up and passes back over. As far as I could tell from what it looked like, a Starblast Flip Maneater bug did not declare an effect, although if that is incorrect, do tell me. I didn't see the targeting indicator over this, but if I'm wrong about that, let me know in chat, I guess. I didn't personally notice it, but maybe it was there. But if not, then it was just Sopacord assuming the target, which you know should not do. But if it was targeted, then yeah, that's not great. Alrighty, main phase, Rite of Spirit to bring back Recruiter. My guess is to free up that back row slot. Yep, there we go. Full set. Yeah, I'd have to watch it again. I didn't notice it, but again, I couldn't say for sure. Alrighty, draw and pass. So, of course, now down to 5 cards in deck. If nothing else, that could become relevant. Alright, Oracle will be summoned back with Rite of Spirit in attack position. Okay, gotcha. Actually, I will 100% forget, so I'm just gonna do that right now. There you go. Alright. Oh yeah, true. You could rewatch the VOD. Hey. Already, it will, however, be floodgated on summon. Against Starblast actually doesn't have to do anything, just has to survive for 5 more turns, if nothing else. The Recruiter will go ahead and go beatdown mode on that Maneater bug. The other set monster will remain face down. The newly drawn card will be set as well. Nightmare Wheel in the draw phase will go to standby phase and deal another 500 points of burn here. Curse will be flip summoned. There's another 500. Sopacord feeling like she can deal with an attack, obviously. If that 800 attack monster is going to be in attack position. So now the burn damage is relevant. Jdg Warrior Lady will be flipped up, but will immediately go back face down. Thank you very much, Floodgate Trap Hole. MVP of the format. Alrighty, Starblast is going to chain Parasite Paranoid to the Floodgate Trap Hole. Therefore, obviously showing there will be a Moth in hand. Jdg Warrior Lady gets flipped down. Parasite Paranoid to the graveyard. Effect will activate Moth number 2 from hand to field. Cool. So we were so close. We were so close. And that will actually do it for Starblast here. Oh, I see. I see why that's happening. Alright, so Starblast actually will take a 2-1 victory over Sopacord. And yes, actually at that point, Wheel would have been enough. Yeah, Nightblader and I will talk later about that. About the ending there. But anyway, let's just focus on the gameplay for now. A fairly impressive, actually, I would say, 2-1 victory for Starblast. Yeah, pretty good, actually. I want to double check something here. Where were we in the standings? Yeah, Starblast, actually currently 2-0 after 2 weeks. Pretty impressive. The 30 card master is getting work done so far. In the SMC, I am very impressed. Already, so 2 things. 1, I realized I forgot to open something that I might need for the stream, so I'm going to do that now. And then 2, let's go ahead and take a look at those deck lists as soon as I stop being terrible at this. Yeah, God, I'm actually just so legitimately impressed by Starblast's performance so far. Again, it is early. Things can absolutely change. But yeah, it's... I think Starblast is really coming out here and surprising some people so far. I know in our preview show, Terramaster and I were a little... I want to say... skeptical, I think is the right way to put it. But yeah, I mean, when you can just come out here and prove us wrong and say, no, actually, I really do belong here and what I'm doing has merit to it, and I'm going to come out here and win some games against players that you thought I couldn't beat. Like, damn, impressive. Okay. Heck yeah. Alrighty, so I unfortunately am failing way too hard for my own good here. I have one last chance to redeem myself, and it's not happening. Okay. Anyway, all right. Well, forget about that. All right, let's look at those deck lists then. First, Star Blast Cyber Angels, which were banned away from them. I do apologize for the image quality. Again, deck lists are just going to appear as they were sent to me, so this is what I got, so this is what y'all get. If you don't like it, you know, let the person know in Discord, hey, send better quality images on this bill. But it's good enough. We can see what's in here. It's the 30-card Cyber Angels that we know and love from Star Blast. That was banned away. The Moth deck that just took the victory. No one believed in the 30-card Moth deck, including myself. But there you go. The Acid Trap Hole, the Adhesion Trap Hole, the Sword of Deep-Seated, the Triple Nobleman, Triple Man-Eater Bug, Triple Moth. Yeah, it's too good. I don't know what to say. So there you go. That one finding a win. And then the Destiny Hero deck, which was slightly modified from last week's version. There you go. There's your Destiny Heroes. So that is the lineup that Star Blast brought for this week. For Silvercore, the Moth that was banned away. Interesting choice, actually. It is a bit teched out, as you can see. A couple Jinzos in the main, a straight flush in the main. And now you will notice that normally I don't include side deck because side decks are empty. And I usually don't include extra deck unless it's relevant, unless the deck has a way of accessing it, just, you know, to for the image. However, I did choose to include Silvercore side decks this week because she made some pretty cool decisions with what to put in there. You'll see the FOLLOW there. The Gravekeeper deck, which was the first one here, again, looking pretty similar to the other Gravekeeper burn deck we saw, except we do again see a main decked straight flush and the DONATE in the side deck. And then the Spell-Proof Armor deck now, again, looking, you know, I was going to say pretty normal, except that instead of Cyber Dragons, we're seeing the Ancient Gear Beast. So Silvercore really prioritizing being ready for the burn matchup, slash Ratbox, slash whatever, Ancient Gear Beast to deal with DD Warrior Ladies, Giant Rats, and the like. So there you go. Those were the deck lists. And all right, before we get into our next match, we will finally have the man himself, Terror Master, joining us for the rest of the broadcast. Before he does, I'm going to plug in my headphones so that we do not have to deal with his voice echoing for the rest of the stream, because I hear y'all don't like that. So yeah. One moment, please. As I deal with the horrible mess of wires that is here. Alrighty. Headphones have been plugged in. They're on my head. And we are going to go ahead and get Mr. Terror Master in here with us. Hello.
What's going on?
Hello, hello. Alrighty, he is here. Hey, we wanted to ask you, you weren't able to join us last week because you were busy dueling Sartorius. How'd that go for you?
I did it. I saved Duel Academy. There is no more white dorm. We can go back to our normal red, blue, and yellow dorms.
All right, so, fantastic. Well done, sir. Appreciate you saving the world of GX for all of us.
It was tough. He got all the heads that he wanted and the one tails that he wanted, but Dragoon is just too good.
All right, you heard it here first. Dragoon is so good it saves literally an entire Yu-Gi-Oh franchise.
I told Aster, I was like, man, you summoned Plasma. You have Dogma in your deck. Why didn't you just fuse them together? He had no response, seeing as he's a fictional character.
Understandable. Alrighty, so let me actually do this so that you can just follow along. Oh, God. All right, so here's the thing. I was just going to share a screen with you for you to watch the replay, but
Yes.
Microsoft Edge is really effing dumb, and it considers every new tab to be a completely separate application.
Okay.
So, yeah. This may or may not be the right one, and good luck.
Is it Tensei against...
All right, it is. Very good. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and jump into the next match. Here it will be Tensei Patu versus Juwin. Let's get the correct match preview up. Yeah. Alright, we'll see. Juwin, not disappointing, again bringing us some pretty spicy decks, as spellproof armor has been banned away from him, but it will be the Knight of Legend itself, Gaia the Fierce Knight, and middle-aged mechs on that side. Whereas Juwin seems to agree with you, Dragoon is too strong, as Tensei Patu's Destiny Hero deck has been banned away, leaving him with Moth and Unions. We don't often see that people say, you know, I'd rather play against Moth and Unions than D-Heroes, but here it is. Julian making a fun choice for us.
You must have been spectating me last week.
Must have been. Said if Sartorius can't deal with it, neither can I.
Exactly.
Alrighty, so let's go into game number 1. Alright, Julian will win the rock, paper, scissors, choosing to go second. Alright, so let's see what decks we're starting off with. It will be Tensei's Moth versus Julian's Gaia the Fierce Knight. Alright, just a couple back row from Tensei. Nobleman of Extermination. That's how you deal with back row right there. Wall of Disruption will be banished, as well as another one from the deck.
Oh my god, get it? He's playing an insect deck. The first card he plays is Extermination.
Oh, it's so good. He did it. Alright, Summoner's Art's gonna come down to search out a Gaia the Fierce Knight. Whereas not only is he a Fierce Knight, but his horse travels faster than the wind. And his battle charge is a force to be reckoned with.
See, the question there is, what wind? Are we talking ordinary breezy day wind, or are we talking category 5 hurricane wind?
I mean, it's true. Like, technically, you or I could outrun, you know, some wind, so, like...
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, Knight of Legend will be flipped up. Gaia the Fierce Knight will come down.
I think what this flavor text tells me, though, is if Gaia the Fierce Knight battles a wind monster, you win the duel.
Yeah, it auto-wins, for sure.
Yes,
it has to.
yes.
Alright, that is a clean 2300. Tensei having no response there.
Ridiculous. Now the question is, does this Parasite player have a Parasite? Is Tensei a good Parasite player?
Looks like yes. Alright, Moth comes down. Goodbye, Gaia. Hello, Moth. 3,500 to the dome is good.
Ooh.
Alright, Julian, what do you got? How do you deal with a Moth? A set monster? Sure. That'll do it. Alright, Cocoon now having to wait a turn, but we'll get that draw in. Breaker's gonna come down. I feel like that might just do it here.
Oh, preventing the
Plus
targeting effect from hitting a Moth.
DD banishes Breaker. Moth attacks. Is there a hand trap? There is a Spheric Karibo. Gaia the Fierce Knight will be fiercely floodgated. DD Warrior Lady. Moth attacks in. We'll go right back to defense. You can stay where you are.
That's right.
DD, of course, cannot attack in, but Julian still needs to find something that is a charging Gaia. Will attack DD. At this point, DD does not need to banish, actually, with Julian only on 500 life. Tensei agrees, says, nah,
Yep.
That's cool.
I choose not to activate the effect.
And yeah, Julian just kind of hoping to bait Tensei there, like, nah, it's DD Warrior Lady, you have to banish, right?
Obviously.
Alrighty, so
Yu-Gi-Oh
that
player
is a win.
sees effect option. Yu-Gi-Oh player click yes.
Yes, exactly.
Isn't that how it goes?
That's always how it goes. Alright,
Yeah, see, Gaia needs a ban list, cough cough, to be successful. That is all.
Oh, hey, this actually worked for Discord. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. So we will go into game number 2 here.
How dare you talk bad about Microsoft Edge?
Yes, my mistake. All right, Julian choosing to go second. It will be now Tensei's Unions again versus Julian's Gaia. Can Gaia do better this time? It's going to be tough with Tensei opening Union Hanger. He's a good Moth player with Parasite. He is a good Union player opening Hanger, except as Z. So we will see Y from the hand. Okay. Still,
Wise is what I would say.
if you go first and you play Union Hanger, you're a good Union player.
True.
Knight's Beam the face down. There's just a whole lot of back row hate in this Gaia deck. Understandably so.
Yeah.
Alright, Gaia comes down. We'll deal a whole 200 points of damage and get rid of that Z Metal tank. Another Y, Union Hanger. Well, we see why the Union Hanger Surge Z. It is time
Wise and
to
3
combine. YZ Tank Dragon. That is it, though, so one has to expect that back row, does something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Second Gaia. If one Gaia is good, 2 is better.
Overlay for Gaia the Xyz champion.
Alright, Gaia number 1 will attack YZ. Tensei says, yeah, okay. Obviously just putting in attack position because he does not want to give the piercing damage for Knight of Legends draw 2, discard 1 effect. Another 200. Alright, 200 damage at a time. What is this? Trickstars? Alright, Julian's gonna get through here. Union Scramble in the end phase. Y and Z return. Plasma? I don't think Tensei's running Plasma.
Could you imagine a main deck Plasma?
Alright, Z will equip. The other Z will equip. For the same Y Dragon Head, making it now 2,300. Or 2,700 rather. I don't know why I said 23. 2,700. It is enormous. 400 damage will get through. Interesting. Yeah, that player's, I don't know, who could imagine main decking Plasma?
Yeah, who would main deck Plasma? Not me.
Definitely not Nightblader. Alright, Summoner's Art is going to search the third and final Gaia the Fierce Knight from the deck. But Jdg Warrior Lady will be the summon. That is a great answer here. Gaia will attack Y Dragon Head. Jdg goes into the big one. And that is fine. That is a banish that will get rid of Tensei's whole field here. But it is Unions, so are they ever really out of cards?
Yeah, they're not. Ever.
Yep, there's Union
Doesn't have
combination.
access to the X, has to desperately go into the YZ again.
That will be a banish Union Scramble, add back a Y. Set 2. Mind Crush! Well, there goes the last Gaia.
Got it.
Those main deck Mind Crush is coming in big. Nobleman of Extermination for the back row. He's gonna go ahead and chain.
Blind calling.
Woo! That is aggressive. So Tensei with 1 card in hand will lose it if there is not a solitary sword of poison in the hand of Julian. Is there a sword? There is not. The Y Dragon Head's gonna go to the grave. A good attempt. Here is Charging Gaia. There's 219 is 21 total. Tensei looking a little iffy here. Only has Y and Z. Has already summoned 2 YZs. So, actually is in top deck mode. As we know, there's not a third YZ in the extra deck. Can you find exactly X-Head, Cannon, or Foolish? I don't remember if he's running Foolish. What's the draw? It is foolish off the top. That's pretty good.
Insane.
That's pretty good. Tensei is a very good Union player.
Oh yeah.
Will pitch the X head, which will allow him to bring out XYZ. It was a 30%, I think, right? 2 X heads and 1 foolish, 3 out of 10. So 30% does hit it. There's XYZ. No damage, but can still destroy a Gaia by battle. We instead thinking, but let it go through. All right. Yep.
I just want to say that draw right there puts Tensei in the elite level of Union players category, along with Ninjetti and myself.
Agreed. Agreed. Damn, it's just switch charging Gaia to defense and pass, and suddenly Tensei's in the driver's seat here.
Pitch pop.
Yep, realizing Dust Tornado does not exactly have much value in this matchup outside of, I guess, exactly Solitary Sword would be the only thing for it to hit. So it's just going to go ahead and pop and try to go for lethal here. But there is the sphere. We kind of assumed that was in the hand since Julian said he was thinking on a previous attack. So he had to know that was there.
Yep.
Alrighty, what is the draw here? Is it anything that's going to get him out of the situation? It's a DD Warrior Lady. God, that card is good.
Yes, it's alright. It's not bad, I've heard.
Alright, take some damage, but banish. Says, alright, Tensei, what do you got?
Needs the other X off the top, because it's the
Yeah.
only monster he has left in deck.
Yeah, I believe that's right, because that's 1, 2, 3 Z metal tanks, 2 Ys. Yeah, it's exactly 1 X head cannon for damage at this point. And that wasn't it. Alright, Julian, it's your time to shine. Draw pass! Woo!
Actually, nothing.
Gives Tensei another chance. It was a 1 out of 7, but he can't find it. It's a draw pass back. Oh, yeah, or scramble. Oh, yeah, scramble. That's right. He does still have scrambles. He only used 1. So actually, he used 2 scrambles in an X head. Julian.
The 2 cards in his hand are 2 and 2 more hanger.
Yeah, something like that. All right, Julian. Did you draw it? You did not. This is getting real iffy. There's a back row set. Is that the scramble? Okay, now I want to point out, real quick, before we go further, we know Julian runs Night Beam in this deck. If that is a scramble, if you're Tensei, Ursus, because it's Union's. If you're Tensei, I think you have to scramble before main phase, right? Because you know Night Beam's in the deck.
Agreed.
That is a main phase. There is a Night Beam. It was a floodgate. It was not the scramble. That was her charging Gaia top deck. That is good enough. Gaia finding a win here in week 2 of the Speed Duel Masters circuit. Hell yeah.
Actually absurd.
You'll love to see it. Oh, that's great.
Actually, if you scramble there, you just lose to Gaia anyway.
That's right. That's right.
But so, I guess it doesn't matter. Like, if your opponent has a monster, you just lose regardless.
Yeah, it had to basically be scramble, hope he doesn't have a monster, and then do it in end phase.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that is correct, actually. That is true. That is true. All right, let's move on to game number 3 here. It will be Tensei's Unions versus Julian's Middle-Aged Mechs.
Pull on Ancient Gears for reasons beyond my understanding. Very well.
Because it is, good?
Yeah, totally. Wyvern and Reactor Dragon. We have those, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
All right, so Julian will be going first. Middle-Aged Mechs. To get that counter, some back row, some monster. All right, Tensei. Of course, Tensei is good at playing Union, so we'll once again open Union Hanger. This time, searching Y, as you'd prefer to do. Summons up Y. Declares Union Hanger, but Book of Moon will say, no thanks.
Nope.
Alrighty, there is a back row. Jack, yes, you went through 3 Gaias, but still had the charging Gaia, which I believe does also get that piercing damage.
That's right. See, what we need for Gaia to be good is more Gaia monsters.
That's right. Alrighty. End phase Zoma. Where have we seen that before? Jack, you on that Zoma counter? Still got that going? Gear Town will be the play.
Yeah, that's all.
Deity Warrior Lady Flip. Zoma to attack. Ancient Gear be summoned without tribute thanks to Gear Town. Dust Tornado the castle. Okay.
This is to reduce attack points for now.
Yeah. Alright, Zoma's gonna deal with Y. 2,000 from Gear Beast. 1,500 from Deity Warrior Lady is good. Tensei down to 500 life points already. Alright, X-Head is the summon union combination for X, Y, and for those of you who don't remember, this is the one that can target a face-up spell and trap and destroy it.
Oh, you could actually destroy Gear Town right now
Yes.
and not have it trigger.
Because it is a full field, exactly. And I imagine that's what Tensei is thinking. Yep, we'll pitch a Z-Metal tank to pop Zoma, actually. Okay, that makes sense to me.
No, destroy Gear Town was literally correct.
Yeah. I mean, with that said, though,
Right,
I can see the
what
thinking of
Gear
not.
is going to do, you're right.
Yeah, like, I think it's probably okay.
Actually, no, because if you leave the DD alive, Beast now is a good draw because
That is true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have popped the Gear Town.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, we don't know what's in Tensei's hands, so maybe just feeling he needs his resources, but yeah, I could see that argument for sure.
Let's see, there's a punish.
There's
Nope,
a Cyber
no
Phoenix. That is it! What were you saying about Ancient Gears, huh? What was that? What was that?
Look, Tensei didn't draw a scramble, okay? It's still cope.
Tensei opening Union Hanger on Unity. It's pretty good, but Julian says, that's great. I got some Ancient Gears. My machines are better than yours.
Amazing.
Damn right,
Moth
better than
and
yours.
Unions, I want to say this, lost to Gaia and Ancient Gear.
That's right. XYZ actually sucks, apparently.
Yeah, obviously. What a terrible deck. Why would you play this? You have to hard draw 3 monsters to make a big monster. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, terrible.
Terrible.
Alrighty, that was amazing. So, huge credit to Julian. Amazing match. Yeah, damn. Hard fought by Tensei, but super well played by Julian. I am really impressed by that one. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at those deck lists here. First, what was banned away from Julian was the Spellproof Armor deck, which you can see on your screen here. This is the triple Cyber Dragon double Jinzo variant. Only one Summoner's Art, interestingly enough, but double Shrink for that battle trick. Of course, a couple soul exchanges, some backward removal. Mostly what you expect to see from SPA, but a little bit of tweaks made here by Julian, which Tensei wanted no part of. The Fool should have banned Middle Age Mech instead. Alrighty, here is the Gaia deck. We do see the Ursus Cyber Angel tech coming in with a single Absorbing Jar in the main, and we now see why Tensei called Solitary Sword of Poison with that Mind Crush, because there's not one, not two, but 3 swords in this deck from Julian. Makes sense to me. Hey, I can't run back row. I'ma just make a 4600 Piercer. Not bad. So yeah, that Gaia deck did go 1-1, but it did find that win. So that's pretty cool. Yes, Siren, welcome. No, yours has not aired yet, as actually you were the last. Alrighty, and the one, the only, the completely broken, out of control middle-aged mechs. We do see the single copy of Cyber Phoenix, the one of Ancient Gear Engineer and Toon Ancient Gear Golem with the 3 Ancient Gear Beasts. This does trend a little bit closer to something that Terramaster and I have talked about before, which is that we think that if you're gonna play Ancient Gears, hard focusing on destroying Gear Town is probably actually not the best way to do it. And we see Julian actually has the option here with a couple double Cyclones, but largely just looking at Ancient Gear Beast summon without tribute, and I think that does make some sense here.
It's the only way to play it, but it's still not. That result that you saw is not something I would expect to see consistently.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Alrighty, so no, I've always loved when a deck that people, are writing off can at least find a win somewhere, and that was pretty great. Alright, let's take a look at the deck list from Tensei. The one that was banned away was Destiny Heroes. This was not purely Dragoon. Yes, it was Fusion Party, but as you see, there's a lot of options here. It is actually Destiny Hero Monarchs, so I know that's gotta make you happy, Mister.
I'm sad to see it was banned though. Like, let him play this.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
We do see the Double Dasher Triple Malicious package, a couple Jinzos, a couple Dark Ruler Hades, plus a Blowback Dragon for the tribute monsters of choice, as well as a couple Cyber Dragons to try to enable those tribute summons. Of course, Triple Breaker, Triple DD Warrior Lady, some Books of Moon, some Walls of D, some Zolmas, and a Nobleman round out that list. So very creative list from Tensei. Hopefully we'll get to see it in action in the future, because I'm definitely curious to see how that actually plays out. But you're right, Julian did ban it, so not today. Welcome, Find My Meme. No, there are no side decks. This is the Speed Duel Master Circuit. We do play a different format here. This is Conquest format. It is best out of 3. Each player needs to bring 3 decks, one of which is banned from their opponents. So you find your best out of 3 by having to win 1 game with both of your 2 remaining decks, so no side decks are necessary for this format. We will see Tensei's 2 decks that were played. Here is the Moth deck. We did see those main deck Mind Crushes, as well as a single Dust. Interestingly, Dust Tornado, the only spell and trap-based back row removal, alongside the Triple Breaker, Triple DD, the Moth package, everything else looking more or less what you'd expect here, with that Omen of Crossout to get rid of those pesky face downs. And moving on to the Union deck that just got demolished by Middle Age. I'm sorry, Tensei. I love you. We will see here. It is a 21 card variant with a double Foolish, the double Mind Crush, and the Dust Tornado. Interestingly, the double Mind Crush Dust Tornado package is something that Tensei is really seeming to favor. And we did see Mind Crush get some work done against that Gaia deck, but yeah, other than that, looking pretty normal for Unions.
All right, the double Mind Crush specifically is a meta call for something like Cyber Angels, and if you don't run into Cyber Angels, then it's a lot less good than you were hoping it would be when you probably put it in. So
yeah, I could see that. There's also though, like obviously it works against Moth too, right? They activate Parasite, you chain Mind Crush.
But the thing with Moth is they'll probably blow it up before they do that with Breaker or Cosmic or Dust or Night Beam or
yeah, potentially. But I think I will say this, I think that's a little bit overblown in the community, because people just assume that Moth is just always good, that no back row is good against Moth because it's always going to get blown up, and it's just not that way. Especially when we see, like, in the SMC, we're seeing Moth lists actually starting to run a little bit less in the way of back row removal. Plus, even if it's in the deck, it doesn't mean they're always going to have it. And I think people, like, really get stuck on that. And I will say, as someone who's played a fair amount of Moth, no, we actually don't always have triple back row removal plus Parasite plus Kill You. So it's definitely a possibility, something you have to be aware of, but it does it absolutely can work. So those are the deck lists. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next match here, as it will be Jack Yomu versus Jdg Nightblader. Let's go ahead and get that in. Let's reset here, as we will see up top, Jack Yomu had a spellproof armor banned away, so it will again be Moth and Unions as the decks that are chosen to be allowed. Whereas Nightblader had Unions banned away from him, so we'll be playing Moth and Relinquished as his 2 decks. And yes, that is correct. What Jack is saying in chat is absolutely right. Dark Moth, the old Dark Moth variants did use more back row removal, as they were strictly going for OTK. Whereas Modern Moth cannot OTK in the same way. So does still run some back row removal, but definitely, yeah, not as much as earlier versions. Alrighty, let's jump into the match. Let's see how the RPS goes here. Alright, double scissors to start. Nightblader, the first one to change it up, will win the rock, paper, scissors. And will choose to go second. Let's see what decks were chosen here. It will be Nightblader's Moth versus Jack's Moth. Let's go. It's a Moth mirror. Everyone's favorite. Nightblader's favorite GX character, Weevil Underwood.
Remembers the Zero episodes Weevil Underwood appeared in.
Alrighty. Just trying to deal with some DB lag. Alright, will be a T-set pass here over to Nightblader, who will simply set a monster in pass. As we know in the Moth mirror, oftentimes it is the player that summons Moth first with the skill that loses. So both players aware of this, trying to be careful here. That will be Jdg Warrior Lady into an Old Vindictive Magician. Jack clearly anticipating that DD would be set, but instead it will be Old Vindictive to pop the Breaker. No damage coming through on this turn. Alright, Nightblader's own Breaker comes down, but will be met with Floodgate. Alright, couple back rows. Let's see what happens here. Didn't notice a face switching appears like on the replay? Yeah, it goes through every action that you take. Yep. Alright, Jdg Warrior Lady will destroy the Breaker, but it is an end phase Zoma! 1 tick on the counter, please. Breaker's gonna get summoned. No response this time. Effect. Activate. Pops a Zoma. So Breaker's gonna deal 100. Probably get banished. There it goes. Zoma in for 18. Jack down to 21 is there. Hey, Parasite. There sure is. Of course there is. However, that is a Book of Moon on Zoma. Parasite, you can just go to the graveyard.
Parasite versus Zoma. I don't know who to root for.
The battle of the villains.
Honestly.
Alrighty, Parasite will get shuffled back in to draw a card. Back row, Breaker. We know it's a Zoma. Breaker is good. 1600 comes through.
It's like when Merrick and Bakura dueled in Battle City. You're like, can they just both die?
I mean, Bakura kind of, has a strategy centering on killing himself, so...
Understandable, yes.
Alright, Breaker will attack, but it is an Apprentice Magician to summon up another Apprentice from the deck.
Nightblader playing a somewhat different Moth build than what we've seen so far.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we see the Apprentice and the Old Vindictive, we see Allure, there's an OVM from hand. Yeah, definitely a different way of building this. Eric also kind of does. Well, I mean, in that he gives all but 1 life point to Ra, I suppose.
Yeah. All you needed was 1 burn card, all of Merrick's opponents. 1 last burn card.
I activate Sparks. Oh, GG.
Yes.
Alright, Jdg Warrior Lady is the summon. Breaker's gonna attack the Apprentice. 3rd Apprentice gets summoned. DD will attack. No effect, as we did see the 2nd OVM banished off of the Allure, but Zoma in the end phase.
Another one for the counter.
Alright, spins to attack. Back row comes down. Zoma attacks Breaker. That attack is good. There is Parasite in the end phase. Another Book of Moon again. That Parasite actually just has to stay in the graveyard, believe it or not.
Amazing. Pot of Greed is only once per duel? Wow. Who would have thought?
Ooh, there it is. DD gets tribute summoned for Jinzo. 2400 attack. 2 Books of Moon have already been used by Nightblader. Is there a 3rd? Yes, there sure is.
What a card. What a card.
Alright, Zoma is just going to be activated in main phase. My guess is going to be Parasite on his own Zoma. Oh, just kidding. That is a creature swap.
Oh my.
It's pretty good, actually. That's actually not bad at all. However, it is the Parasite top deck. Whew.
Oh my.
Now you contribute off the Zoma, summon the Moth, attack into the Jinzo with no fear. Now the question, of course...
Is Nightblader a good Moth player?
So he's used no Parasites yet. So even if he hasn't drawn one, he has just under 50%. So 3 out of 7 to draw one here. Does he do it? He does! What a god.
Oh my goodness.
Alrighty, so there is Cocoon. You know what? Your Moth, my Moth. However, there is a floodgate, so this is not over yet.
I believe the correct saying is your Moth, our Moth, comrade.
Alright, it is a set monster. Cocoon will shuffle Parasite in, take that free draw. Parasite is the draw. We'll summon it up. I imagine there is a creature swap in that hand.
Coming.
There sure is. Alright.
What the monster is, since Dueling Book does not let you do that unless...
Right, yeah. You cannot just check it, even though it's on your field.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't, obviously.
Alright, so we know it's a DD Warrior Lady. Let's see what Yugioh has here in top deck mode. Alright, Parasite to defense, back row. Makes sense to me. DD Warrior Lady will be flip summoned. No response to that. Will her attack go through? It sure will. Well,
End phase, Zoma.
In case you weren't tired of hearing it yet, in the end phase, Zoma the Spirit will be activated.
Oh my gosh.
We'll go to attack button and pass, knowing that attacking to DD Warrior Lady will just get it banished and no burn will occur. Nightblader says, nah, I'll take that attack.
Yeah, Zoma counter is at 7 now. Thank you, Jack, for keeping track of that.
In the battle step, Parasite Paranoid on DD Warrior Lady, but Mind Crush. Alright, chooses to Mind Crush the Moth.
Rush.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, because your opponent wouldn't Parasite unless, right?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
This is the SMC. There are no bad players here.
Alright, T-set. Jack still has no way of dealing with the Moth that's face down, but doesn't actually have to. Book of Moon will stop
the
Breaker.
Moth Mirror Ghosted deck out. This is why nobody likes this deck. I mean, and by nobody, I mean nobody except for the people who do.
Alright, if Nightblader can't find a way to win this turn, it will be the game. Sets a back row. Summons Parasite. Yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Alrighty, so game one, we'll go over to Jack's Moth in a deck out win. Yeah, that was intense.
That's just, terrible. This is why Moth and Zoma need to go. I'm sorry for those of you who like those decks. You'll learn something new, I promise.
Alright, so let's go into game number 2. So we know that it's going to be Jack's Unions. Let's see what deck Nightblader chose to combat those Unions. It will be the switch over to Relinquished here for Nightblader. Jack, of course, a good Union player, will start off with a Union Hanger.
Yeah.
Summons the Y from the deck, as you do.
It's interesting, Relinquish choosing to go again with the Shadow Reborn, just like the Winterbox Relinquish top player did.
Yep.
Rather than the Thousand Eyes spell, which was the skill specifically made for Relinquished. I just want to...
Siren Rise that we may have a new format, but it's just Moth with a mustache.
Yes, true.
Alright, so Knight's just going to go ahead and set 2 back row and pass back over. Alright, just going to go ahead and unequip the Z Metal Tank. It does put more attack on the board, and a Union Hanger for Union Hanger play. Woo, search the Y. Summon the Y.
We're going swarming here.
Yeah, and no response here from Nightblader.
Obviously,
Show me, I don't even remember if it's in the deck, but show me Wall of Disruption one time. Oh, 15 is good. Sphere for that one. Book a Moon for that one. Alright.
Wait, why not book the... Huh, okay.
In the Zoma, the Spirit in the
Not
End.
earlier.
Yeah, no, I actually like that play. I think that makes sense. Pre-prep was the draw, probably. Black Illusion Ritual and Relinquish to the hand. It will come down, banish the sphere, summon up that Relinquish. And Jack says, no, you know what? I'd like my monsters to remain mine. Thank you very much.
Understandable. Have a nice monster.
Alright, Zoma beats over Y Dragon Head, maybe. Yep, there we go. 300 damage comes through. We're up to 8 on the Zoma counter. Alright, it will be actually just the contact fusion here, not using the skill. YZ Tank Dragon will use the effect. Pitch the third Union Hanger. Pop that relinquished. Jack Yugioh heard that opening Union Hanger was good, so he's like, alright, I'll just have all three.
It's like, yeah, it's like, oh, I'll take more than one, please. I'll take 3.
Alright, we'll go ahead and Foolish the X head. We'll use the skill.
Be like, sir, today's special is Union Hanger? Great, I'll have all of them.
Alright, XYZ will be summoned up in defense. We'll attack into that Zoma, taking a fat 2100.
Is it time for the Shadow Reborn?
Yeah, I'm actually really curious what that other back row is. He had to know this play was coming to take the XYZ, right? So that's got to be another Floodgate or book or something, right? Has to be.
I mean, you would
There
think.
it is.
Yep.
Yep.
Indeed.
There is book. However, Nightblader says, you thought I only had one relinquished? You fool. Relinquished number 2 comes down. He says, yeah, I'll go ahead and take that XYZ. Thank you for that. Appreciate you.
Your boss monster. Our boss monster.
I swear every skill that says no damage this turn is... Like, that effect is always forgotten about.
Yes, it is, which is weird because, like, you know, the one skill that should say no damage this turn, Moth doesn't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Alright, it is simply a set. Breaker's gonna come down. We'll use the effect to pop the XYZ to allow Relinquish to suck up once again, and that 1600 from Breaker is exactly enough. Nice play there from Nightblader. Good job seeing the line there to win. That is a relinquished win on the board here. Which means that game 3 is going to come down to Unions versus Moth. Terramaster, quick prediction, go.
He seems to be having a very bad day so far, for some reason. So, yeah. Also, as much as I hate it, I'm not going to bet against Moth. What an idiot would do.
Yep. Alrighty, so the prediction is in from Terramaster. I am still amazed that, like, people are, like, actually playing out RPS like normal in game 2 and 3 when there's absolutely no need to do that. But they're still doing it. So
Yeah.
all right,
You
so
know, it's a test of skills.
it is. So interestingly, Jack Yugioh choosing to go second here. Unions usually want to go first, but playing against Moth says, nah, you know what? It's more important to deny that turn 1 Parasite, so we'll choose to go second. It's a T-set from Nightblader. We know in that Moth deck it can be Apprentice, it can be OVM, it can be anything.
5 cards, no union.
Woo!
No
And guess
fingers,
what?
sorry, no unions. I don't know what that means. Okay.
End phase, Zoma the Spirits.
That is number 9.
Yeah, is that 9? I think it's 9. Yep. Alright, it is the old Vindictive that will flip, destroy that X-Head cannon. Parasite on his old Vindictive. Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. Nightblader going in for the kill here. However, that Moth is going to have to wait.
Hated.
As it is going face down. We're just going to go to battle phase. Zoma will attack for 18. That one is good. There's the hanger.
Finally, time to hang.
Alright, Y Dragon Head is added. We'll go ahead and equip Z from the deck. However,
floodgating the Moth becomes really good because it gives you an easy out to it.
yeah, he's going to have to go into YZ here. Like, can't just attack over to Zoma.
No, I don't think so. You
Or
are not an anime protagonist as much as you want to be, putting yourself down to 100.
actually just going to XY.
Interesting.
Just to pop the Zoma.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess pop the Zoma.
Hey, guess what? Look at that discard.
Plasma.
It's a plasma. Alrighty, so that will go ahead and pop the Zoma. There's Cocoon. Shuffle the Parasite back in. Draw a card. We love free draws. Breaker is the card that is drawn off the top. We'll use the effect target the face down, which is a Union Scramble. Bringing back Y and X. Triggering Union Hanger, of course. And the Z from the deck. Yeah, Nightblader is actually in a pretty rough spot here now. I don't blame him going for the kill, basically hoping that the face down was like a bluff scramble.
Right.
But yeah, I agree that in the long game, Unions actually outgrinds most decks. Definitely is favored against Moth the longer the game goes. So I don't
especially once
fault
the
that
skill
play.
is burnt.
Yeah, for sure. So I don't fault that play at all from Nightblader trying to go for it. Alright, XYZ will be summoned up, will be met by a Book of Moon, so it can't pop anything this turn. However, XY can beat over the Breaker, which it sure will. Apprentice Magician summoned up. There's a creature swap. Or not. Damn, just attacks in. To put OBM onto the field. Interesting. The huge misplay by Union player playing Plasma without Dogma to summon Dragoon, which is the best card in the game.
Yeah, obviously.
Alright, well, there's probably the answer to that question. XYZ is flip summoned, but we'll go right back face down thanks to the Book of Moon. So now we kind of see the reasoning behind Nightblader's play.
Without Red Eyes and Red Eyes Dragoon, right? Makes no sense.
However, it is the second Union Hanger, which will be Y for Z, which will give a YZ, which will allow Jakuma to pop that old Vindictive without flipping it up. And this might just spell doom for Nightblader. I don't know how much more he's going to have after this. Yeah, that will do it. Jakuma taking the 2-1 win here. Union's finally finding a win, which was surprisingly difficult for them, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I died inside.
Alright, so nicely done there by Yugioh, handing Nightblader his technically second loss to the SMC, but first one that he actually played. So let's go ahead and take a look at those decks here. Alright, so we will start with Yugioh. The deck that was banned away was Spellproof Armor, so here is that list, and actually a pretty teched out list, I would say. Triple Psychic Shockwave, triple Mind Crush, double Lost Wind, all in that main deck, along with the single DD Warrior Lady, which I actually do like, especially in a format like this.
Why this would be banned? Kind of seems scary to play against all these cards.
Yeah, that's a lot to deal with, right?
Yeah, that is.
It's a lot. All of the tech cards. So yeah, yes, that is Yugioh's Spellproof Armor deck. I like the build. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, me too.
So that was banned away. So the Moth deck here. Again, we do see a single main decked Jinzo replacing one Breaker, actually. We're used to seeing triple Breaker, but only two here with a Jinzo over it. And a Mind Crush, a single one. Other than that, looks pretty standard Moth to me.
Yep.
And then the Union deck, which finally did find a win. Yes, we did see that Plasma, and actually, this list is super interesting. It's only 2 copies of Z. Most Union players are on 3. But Jack decided to make a little bit more room for tech, running the Plasma and a Jinzo. So really trying to shut down trap cards with his deck lineup here.
Yes, because you would normally side both of those, right? So
right.
You need them for certain matchups, and I think that's kind of the thought process here. So it's good. I like it.
Yeah, agreed. And that is the interesting part of the Conquest format versus the versus a single deck side deck format. You see really cool stuff like that. So awesome. Alrighty, so that is it. So we will see Nightblader's deck list first. What was banned away was the Union deck. Looks a little bit more standard, except again, we do see the single copy of Plasma. That is the first card in the list. There's the alternate art version. Other than that, pretty normal. 2Y, 2X, 3Z, some Books of Moon, a Foolish, Hangers, Floodgates, and Scrambles. Looking pretty normal the rest of the way. Alrighty, and lastly, it is Nightblader's Moth deck. This is Yugioh Apprentice Moth. So we see the 3 Apprentice, 2 OBMs. couple creature swaps, a single allure for draw power. Other than that, sure does look like a Moth deck. So no DD Warrior Ladies using that Apprentice package instead.
0 GX cards, the best way to play Moth.
And then the Relinquish deck that we saw. Worth pointing out, the single main deck, Waking the Dragon, which is kind of neat. So daring his opponents to try to deal with his face down Book of Moons or Books of Moon, I should say, or Zomas. Other than that, it's a Relinquish deck. You know it. You hate it. Terrible. Well, at least I hate it. I don't know if anyone else feels.
Yeah. So wait, I'm surprised. Has anyone banned Moth yet?
Yes, Sopa Quartz Moth was banned.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that is it. So let's go ahead and dive into our final match of the day here. Let's go ahead and reset here, as it will be Siren Rises versus Paolo NS. So here is your match review, as it will be Siren Rises Spellproof Armor deck banned, leaving them with Burn and Unions, whereas Paolo has had also Spellproof Armor banned. No one wants to play against this deck. But fortunately for us, that was the right choice. Thank you, Siren Rises, for that ban, because that means Paolo will be playing Gaia the Fierce Knight and Skull Servants.
Yeah.
You know we're pumped for this one. SPA banned everywhere, too powerful.
Obviously, yeah. What is the SPA fear going on? Like, we've seen it banned over Moth multiple times at this point. Like, guys, is there no fear for Moth? Like, what?
I don't know. Apparently it's spellproof. Before we get into this match, Siren Rises let us know that apparently Paolo had a glitch with the LP button, so it had to be tracked in chat for some reason.
Okay.
The new one, but you know what? It's Dueling Books, so I don't put any glitch past it, really.
Understandable, yeah. There's probably gonna be many new glitches to come.
Excited to find out what the glitch meta is gonna be on Dueling Book as we go.
True.
Alrighty, so let's get into game number 1. Siren Rises versus Paolo NS in our final match of the day here in week 2 of the Speed Duel Masters circuit. Paolo making the critical error of playing from the phone.
Oh.
Yeah, never do that if you can help it. Alright, it will be Burn versus Gaia here in game number 1. It is Set My Whole Hand from Siren Rises.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Classic sword play. Nothing to see here.
Paolo just summons Gaia, charging Gaia, I should say, straight away. Nothing on the summon. Will flip up Knight of Legends, so you can get that piercing damage if the attack goes through, which it sure will not. Nightmare Wheel says, Gaia, you're not charging anywhere. Standby phase. Alright, Paolo actually will go ahead and book his own Gaia, which has the double benefit of stopping the Nightmare Wheel and resetting its stats. So, pretty cool. Gaia gets flipped up and we'll have 2300 attack instead of 19. Oh, wait. That's right. No, he can, because he did not control a... oh, wait, yes, he did. He did control a Gaia. Oh, cheating. I didn't even catch it. I'm so not used to Knight of Legend that I actually didn't catch it. Yeah.
That's true.
He was 100% correct. That Book of Moon could not have been activated.
Yeah, that Book of Moon should actually not even have been set, right? Because it cannot set cards or cannot activate set cards?
He can set. It cannot activate while he controls a Gaia the Fierce Knight.
So take the 500.
Yeah, so again, this is where the LP bug occurs. So Paolo is at 35 right now. Yeah, good catch there by Siren. Yeah, no, and we both missed it too. We're just so not used to actually seeing this skill in play.
Yeah, we're just not used to seeing Gaia. We're like, what?
Yeah, sure, Book of Moon. It seems good.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely you should not have set the Book of Moon, because if it was still in hand, yes, he would have taken the 500, but then on his turn, could have booked the Gaia, you know, making the Nightmare Wheel useless and then flip summoning it. So yeah,
I mean, I guess this is a good time to point out that, yeah, if it wasn't for that weird restriction, maybe Gaia would actually be really good. Just a thought.
Yeah, no, that restriction is actually just backbreaking.
Yeah, it is.
And I hate it. Alrighty. So yeah, a misplay there from Paolo, I would say. Should have just kept the book in hand. Will's just set a monster after searching from Summoner's Art. It's another 500. Paolo down to 3,000. Set monster here from Siren and passes back over. Paolo will tribute, charging Gaia and Apprentice Magician for Gaia the Fierce Knight. Being tributed with 2 monsters, as Konami intended.
Ever did this.
Floodgate Trap Hole will put it back. Paolo sets another back row. It is worth noting that currently the back row is able to be activated with a legal target, since there is no face-up Gaia on Paolo's field. Alright, we'll just set some more back row here. Paolo's got nothing. Interestingly enough, the deck out game favors Paolo, but I have to imagine Siren Rises can figure out a way to deal 3,000 damage before then.
You know, there's some wheels coming.
Jdg Warrior Lady is the summon. Another one is flipped. Show the third one, just... Oh, there it is!
There it is. It's the unholy trinity.
Triple Jdg Warrior Lady.
Now, combine your powers to form different dimension Xyz Dragon.
Alright, Jdg Warrior Lady number 1 is going to go ahead and attack and will take that 600 to banish. Jdg Warrior Lady number 2 attacks. Gentlemander comes down. Here you go, in case you haven't seen this card in a while. Alright, Jdg will attack. I imagine no banish. Jdg Warrior Lady number 3 attacks into Zoma the Spirit. Will attack in. Will it be a banish or will it just take the 15? We'll just take the 15. Okay, let's it go. 1 set monster in pass. Alright, Siren again going aggressive. Jdg Warrior Lady number 1 attacks, but not so much for number 2 as OVM will take it off the field. Didn't expect to see Vindictive Magician and Gaia, did you?
I did not. Or Apprentice Magician.
Yeah.
Or Gentlemander.
Alrighty, so digging for gold will banish 3. David says, you know what, I'm a nice guy. Here, have a card. So a counter 10? Yeah, I believe 10 is correct. Yeah. Alright, Warrior Lady will just flip back to defense. Says, alright, we've done enough for now. OVM will flip. Destroy DD. Summons Gaia. Alright, here's my question. If you were going to summon Gaia, that turns off your back row. Was the play ever to use the book that's on the field to flip down your own OVM first before summoning Gaia?
Well, yeah, that would actually be a really good play, yes. Agreed.
Yeah. I think that might have been it. Yeah, I think I would have liked to have seen that. Alright. However, does not. And we'll just go into battle. Gaia will attack into a wall of disruption, reducing its attack by 1,600. Oof, that hurts.
That is a small horse.
That is a 700 attack Gaia. OVM now in attack position with 0 attack. No punish on that, however. As it will just be another back row and pass. Summoner's Art is the draw. Alright, Gaia number 3 to the hand. OVM and Gaia, tributed for Gaia. This is not the first, but the second time this game we have seen 2 monsters tributed for Gaia the Fierce Knight. You gotta love it.
Wicked cool.
That's so good.
And you won't see it anywhere else.
You won't. Alright, battle phase. Paolo's gonna try to go for game, but with 3 back row, I doubt that's gonna do it. Book of Moon will be the answer here. Alright, Siren Rises in standby. Will activate the Nightmare Wheel, dropping Paolo down to 25. Rhoda will search Warrior Lady of the Wasteland. She is of this dimension, not a different one. Already setting some cards. Paolo says, yeah, I can set a card too. I'll do that. Already. 25 or 2,000 now. Life. Swordswoman is a good draw. Interesting. So Swordswoman could have attacked into the face down Gaia. Dealing 600 to Paolo.
Not only would that turn off Book of Moon, that would also do the damage. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see any reason not to make that attack, to be honest.
Nope.
Unless playing around exactly Sphere Kuriboh.
Booked, but I don't know if that could happen anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, not sure. I think I would always make that attack.
I would too. Maybe there's the Sphere Kuriboh that you're playing around.
Yeah, that's my only thought. But even then, so like, eh.
And the
Creature swap. We'll swap the unknown monster over for another one. It is Apprentice and Warrior Lady of the Wasteland. Good to know. Nightmare Will burns down to 1,000. Alrighty, Swordswoman will attack his own Warrior Lady, but will be met with that Sphere Kuriboh. Paolo draw pass. And down to 500 in the standby. Swordswoman will now go ahead and attack into Gaia, but Gentlemander will stop that one, as Swordswoman now can only attack the Gentlemander. Pretty funny. They can out the wheel if we attack Gaia? Maybe, with a book, but we know one book is face down, so that one couldn't be activated. So I guess if that's your play, but yeah. Alrighty, and that is game one over to Siren Rises. Nightmare Wheel is pretty good, as it turns out.
Not bad. In a 4,000 life point format, it's not
Yeah,
bad.
and all damage was dealt by Nightmare Wheel there, right? Like, I don't think there was any other damage.
Oh man, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Alrighty. I'm curious, was there another book? There was not. There was some Sphere Creepos, though. Alrighty, let's go ahead and jump into game number 2. Siren Rises versus Paolo. Let's see if Paolo is going back to Gaia or will be switching over to Skull Servants. Alright, before we show, actually, what would you do? You know you're playing against unions.
Right? Are you playing Gaia or I'm playing Skulls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
I get my boy to 3,000. What are you gonna do?
Yep.
Nothing.
All right. Paolo agrees. So it is Siren Rises Unions against Paolo's Skull Servant. Siren Rise is not a good enough Union player to open Hanger, unfortunately. Already.
Is Paolo a good enough Skull player to not open any vanilla Skull?
Well, we at least know he didn't open 3. We know that so
true.
far.
That's true. Yes. So he's not the worst Skull player in history.
True. And also playing a 30-card deck to try to minimize the chances of that occurring, actually.
But that also minimizes your king, so I don't know. But
Yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah, there's some give and take there. All right, so it'll just be a set monster with 2 back rows for Paolo. There is Z Metal Tank off the top. Yeah, it does look like Sunrise is open. No hanger and no union pieces either. Crazy. Oh, he did open at least 1 Skull Servant.
Even with 30 cards.
Yeah, I mean, 1 isn't the worst if you don't have another play, because at least gives you some defense and then puts itself to the grave. It's not like the worst thing, but in a play that has never been seen before in the history of speed duels, Soma the Spirit will be activated in the end phase.
That is 11.
All right, a lot of thumbs up going on here. All right.
It's 12.
It's 2 Soma the Spirits in the end phase. All right, Paolo will use the skill to dump the last Skull Servant, so only hard draw 1, not the worst. We'll set 1 monster, go to battle phase. First attack is good. Is the second one? It is! Triple back row has nothing on either the summon or attack of Zoma. Interesting. It sure is insane how not format warping Zoma is, right? Mind Crush. Alright, now just to be clear, Siren Rises does not have any guaranteed information of Paolo's hand right now. So this is a blind Mind Crush. My guess is he wants to free up space in the back row, and this is the way to do it. Let's see what is called. It will be Creature Swap.
Okay.
And it is good. Siren Rise is apparently impressed with their own ability to call correctly. Nice. All right, Foolish Burial will come down here. We'll pitch the Y Dragon Head. Union Combination, banish Y and Z for the YZ Tank Dragon. We'll use the effect to pop the face down. We know it's not a Skull Servant. Wow, actually pitching the Union Scramble. Huh. Well, again, we'd have to look at Paolo's list. I assume there's OVM or something. It's just what Sunrise is trying to get rid of. However, it is a Goblin Zombie. Paolo says, cool, thanks, bro.
My Goblin Zombie has a special ability.
The other sets are Scramble, right? I feel like they have to. You can't get rid of your only Scramble here. There's no way.
Yeah, there's...
There has to be at least one Scramble face down.
Else at that point.
Already, King of the Skull Servants has hit the field with his mighty 3,000 attack points. However, he will be matched with an even mightier Floodgates Trapple.
Oof, sad.
His 0 defense is not very impressive.
No. Does not destroy that face down king. Let it flip back up. Well, I mean, just kidding. It can't flip back up.
Yeah, Paolo apparently believing that King has an extra ability that is unaffected by Floodgate's effect to not be able to change battle positions.
Yes.
There you go. Alrighty, it will, however, be tributed off for a Dark Ruler Hades. That is a legal play.
Understandable.
Alrighty, nothing on the summon. Back row is set. Hades will attack. The attack is good. Zoma number 1. There's a Union Scramble. Royalty is too strong, that's right. Alrighty, Paolo's declaring that he will attack both. Those attacks are good. So Union Scramble does buy a turn for Siren Rises. What can they make out of it? Absolutely nothing. There you go. You love to see it. Skull Servants taking a win.
Union's just not having it, man. Just not.
Yeah, they're having a surprisingly bad day.
Well, they got to beat Gaia now.
I drew 4 traps. Yeah, that's rough. Alrighty, Unions versus Gaia. This is game 3 of our last match of the day. Chat, let's hear it. What are your predictions? It is Siren Rise's Union deck versus Paolo's Gaia deck. Give me your predictions. What do you see happening? I know what I think. I want to know what you think. And also, before we get into the last game, I want to go ahead and again throw that reminder out there. If you're enjoying the stream, if you're enjoying this event, hey, remember that 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time every Sunday, you will be seeing more of the Speed Duel Masters Circuit. It is a 9-week regular season, which will then head into playoffs after that. And if you want to support our players, you can do so. Every sub will add to the prize pool. Every donation will add to that prize pool, as you can see right here. That's how you can do it. And of course, if you can't support monetarily, simply following the channel may not add to the prize pool, but it will help me out. And it will show us that you are enjoying what you're seeing and want to see more of the SMC. So please do consider supporting however you can. Alrighty. Jackson, I refuse to believe Gaia wins again. We have already seen it once today. Yep, Nightblader predicting Unions. Terra Master, what's your prediction? Who do you think is going to win this game 3?
A good like this can't lose this much. Come on now.
Yeah. I'm inclined to agree. I think Unions is just the favored matchup here. I think Unions should be favored against Gaia. But let's see how it plays out. This is the final game of the final match of the Speed Duel Masters Circuit Week 2. Siren Rises versus Paolo NS. Let's get into it. Why does this look like game number 1 to me? This is game number 1. Just kidding. Why is this game number 1?
Again, that's a weird thing to do.
All right, let's see if I messed up or if when Siren Rises, they sent me the wrong replay. Let's find out. Who's at fault? Me or Siren Rises? There's your new prediction. Whose fault was this? Or Paolo, actually, because they're the one that sent it to me. Just kidding. Whose fault is it? Paolo's or mine? Mine. The answer is me, but it's because he sent it to me in a weird order, and I copy and pasted wrong. All right, just a minute. All right, let me see which ones we already did. The answer is kind of both of us, but mostly me. All right, bonus 6 for 1.
Wow. All right. Guys, I'm going to have to ban Justice here and take over the stream. Seeing as this is unacceptable.
There's the replays. Yeah, he sent it to me in a weird order. Okay. Or actually, no, I just straight copied the wrong thing. Nope, 100% me! Anyone who predicted that Justice was at fault is correct. Congratulations. All right.
I'm getting a message that says you cannot ban the content creator. I tried, sorry.
All right, actually getting into game number 3. Let's build that hype back up. All righty, Siren Risers will be choosing to go first, with Unions attempting to open that hangar, which they couldn't do last time. And they did it. What a good player. Alrighty, hangar will search Y from the deck. Y will search Z. Love starting with 4 cards and ending on 6.
Just feeling.
Alrighty, Summoner's Art from Paolo. Here comes the Gaia. Alright, I guess you're just asking if there's a Mind Crush on red.
Yes.
I assume that skill is flipped up, otherwise that is a very illegal summon of Gaia.
I mean, are we in Duelist Kingdom or are we not?
Interestingly, again, there is a back row set. So 200 damage. Now again, that skill has to be face up right now. That Gaia could not be summoned otherwise. But, so we just have to realize that Paolo forgot to flip it up, and we all have to understand that it is in fact face up right now. Alright, it will be the XYZ Dragon Cannon! Summoned from Siren Rises. Alright, it will just be an attack in here. Gentlemander on the attack. Gaia lives! Although what Gaia does against the XYZ, I am not sure.
You fool. Just kidding. I was going to say something about it. Oh, well, there it is.
There it is! Sets a monster united. We stand onto the Gaia, giving it 1,600 extra attack points. That is a 3,900 attack Gaia the Fierce Knight. How is this attack going to get stopped? Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. Siren Rises feels no need to stop the attack. We'll simply Dust Tornado the United We Stand. Gaia goes back down to a sad 2,300 attack. Poor Gaia.
3,500.
Apparently still can't change his life points. I'm gonna blame mobile, honestly. I don't even think it's Dueling Book, because this is 2 different duels now. I'm gonna blame mobile. Alright, end phase Union Scramble will bring back Y and X.
Hanger time.
Yep, there you go. Hanger will equip Z from the deck. So there's, guess what? X, Y, and Z all back on the field. How about that?
2 XYZ Dragon Cannons? We probably shouldn't, but we could.
Already, we'll use the XYZ. Damn!
Scoop!
Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised by the result there, but that was a real quick scoop.
Yep.
And yeah, that
tornado took away the only shot that existed. So.
Yeah, he absolutely needed that United We Stand. Alrighty, so yeah, that will do it for this match. Siren Rises will take the 2-1, but at least we got to see a Skull Servant victory before this one ended. Yeah, so nicely played there. Well done from Siren Rises. And they drew the God Hand. Yeah. Sure did. Alright, so very nicely done there. That is the win. Let's go ahead and jump over and take a look at those deck lists here. Alright, so let's start with Siren Rises, whose Spellproof Armor deck was banned away. And as you see, this is no normal Spellproof Armor deck. This is Spellproof Ancient Gears. That's right. We have triple Ancient Gear Beasts, couple Cyber Dragons in there, DD Warrior Ladies, Genzos, 2 Ancient Gear Golems. We got it all here, folks. And Paolo said, hell no, I don't want to play against that. So that's right. Even when it's Ancient Gear related, Spellproof Armor, too strong. No one wants to play against it. Alrighty, and then we have the Digging for Gold Burn. Looks like pretty normal Warrior Burn. We do see a Zombina, which not every version is running, especially without the Giant Rat, so that's a little bit different. Other than that, yeah, we got some Somas, we got some Nightmare Wheels, we got some stall tools, some Swordswoman. Looks like digging for gold burn to me.
Yep.
And then unions. Pretty standard list. No Plasma or Jinzo or anything like that. But is one Dust Tornado in there. Plus double Foolish, double Mind Crush gives us a 21 card list. And we saw it work out very well here in game number 3. To be fair, SPA mirror is pretty boring normally. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Although
that's why they're banning SPA. It's to make the content better.
Although I will say this. This is no mirror match. There is no SPA mirror match here. Not with this Ancient Gear version. Alrighty, so that was Siren Rises decks. Let's take a look at Paolo's SPA that was banned. A mostly more standard version, but a few interesting things here. There is a single Blast Sphere. There is a single Dakoichi, triple Soul Exchange, and a Wicked Breaking Flamberge Bow to deal with any set DD Warrior ladies, actually.
My Jinzo is invincible.
So I actually really like that tech. You're like, all right, how do you deal with Spellproof Jinzo? DD Warrior Lady. All right, you want to set DD Warrior Lady? No problem. I got you. Wicked Breaking Flamberge Bow. So very interesting tech there from Paolo. I like it. No Psychic Shockwaves, however. So yeah, just a different version of the deck a little bit. The main core of Jinzo Clausulus is there, but no Summoner's Art. No Psychic Shockwave. Yeah, a different way of approaching this build of SPA. So very interesting there from Paolo. Alrighty. Siren Rises, I didn't play Soma the whole match. My goal for the circuit is complete. Nice. Siren Rise is not adding to the Zoma counter. That's great. Alright, here is your 30 card Gaia list. I do have to say, it's interesting to me. A, 30 card Gaia is not normally what you see. And B, the only way for Paolo to deal with big monsters is either O Vindictive Magician, of which there are 2. Well, let me rephrase. I shouldn't say only. It's O Vindictive Magician. There's United We Stand, which you saw, and then there's also Creature Swap. Which is not a guaranteed way of dealing with it, but potentially.
Right.
Yeah, so very interesting list from Paolo here with the Apprentice package, triple Gentlemander, triple Sphere, triple Book, triple Soma, triple Swap. Yeah, really interesting way of approaching Gaia deck building. And then lastly, the undefeated Skull Servant deck. It is 30 cards again. What's interesting to me here as well is we see a main deck Hades and Gap. Paolo's saying, all right, one way of trying to deal with King is setting monsters. No! Gap says everything's in attack position for my huge King of the Skull Servants.
Yeah, I haven't heard that name in ages.
So it's actually a really cool way of going about it. Yeah, and other than that, I would say if you're playing 30 card skulls, this is about what I would expect it to look like. Yeah. Floodgates, Haunted Shrine, Zombinas, Zomas, Books, Dust Tornadoes for back row, couple creature swaps. Yeah, looks good.
Good to me.
Yeah, again, I don't know if 30 card skulls is better than 20 card skulls or if there's some middle ground there. But if you're going to play 30 cards, I guess this is about how you do it. I don't know. I am interested to see if Paolo continues to take this deck, and if so, if he can continue to find wins with it, because that would be really cool to see.
And that's what's fun, right? How do these decks change next week? We'll find out.
Yep. Yeah, and that's exactly what we're looking at. Alrighty, friends, that was it for week number 2 of the Speed Duel Master Circuit. Once again, if you do want to support the event, if you want to support the players, you know how to do it. Sub to the channel, follow the channel, donate if you want to, or just hang out with us and be present in chat. And honestly, if that's your way of supporting it, then that is freaking awesome as well. So whatever you can do. And the other thing, you know what you can do? Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog. I don't care. The Speed Duel Master Circuit is here each and every week. Sunday at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Come out, hang out with us, have a good time, see how the meta develops week over week. This is officially the way to see how a meta develops the fastest, faster than we've ever seen. We don't see it this way in single day tournaments. You don't see it this way in your multi-day 72-hour tournaments. It is only the Speed Duel Master Circuit. You get to see all these different decks week after week to follow these players, follow their journey as they try to find their way into the playoffs at the end of the season. Before we sign off, Terror Master, is there any closing thoughts you have from today's games?
See SPA banned so much, I wonder if people will build decks that are built in a way where they don't have to fear spellproof next week and can actually ban, you know, the most terrifying deck in the history of Speed Duels.
Right.
But we'll see. I don't really have anything other than that. I'm hoping to see less Moth next week and maybe a little bit more of other stuff.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I agree. Spellproof, we'll see what the adaptations are made there. I will say, though, with money on the line and having to not just win 1 or 2 games, but trying to win week over week, if Moth is the best deck in the format, I fully expect we're going to see plenty more of it. The only thing that I can see stopping Moth right now is if somewhere in the middle of the Speed Duel Master Circuit, if Konami actually gives us an official forbidden/limited list for Speed Duels, in which case we will adopt that if they do. So we'll see what happens. That is up to you, Konami. Only you can prevent Forest. I mean Moth.
Pray for Hartford, please.
Yes. Agreed. Someone should go to 4, maybe 5. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, well, why not just at that point just let you play 20 Zoma? Like, if that's what you want is to auto lose to Jinzo, then go for it. I think it's fine.
Worked out for me. Alrighty. So that will do it here in week 2. So thank you everyone who came to hang out with us today. Of course, thank you to all of our players for some honestly extremely entertaining games. It was great to see all of that. So don't forget, 2:00 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time next Sunday for week number 3. Until then, as always, my friends, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Good luck in all of your games, and we will see you next week.